Okay, so this week what we're going to look at is the changes that took place in the state of Washington in the late 19th century, where we have this progressive era, we have the Gilded Age, and the development of labor unions. So to start off, we're going to look at a short video by PBS that talks about kind of what was the Gilded Age. And as you watch this video, I want you to think about the answer to this learning target, okay? What happened in the American economy and society at the end of the 19th century? So what was taking place? What happened in society? Were there two groups of people? What was going on in the country? Okay, and we're going to relate this to Washington here in just a minute. So go ahead and watch this, and here we go.
There had never, ever been as rapid an economic leap as took place in the United States. In little more than a generation, this nation went from being a backwater to the leading industrial power in the world.
"30 years after the Civil War, America had transformed into an economic powerhouse. But the transformation had created stark new divides in wealth, standing, and opportunity.
It's shocking for people to see a country developing before them that is increasingly clearly divided into the haves and have-nots.
The richest 4,000 families in the country, less than 1% of all Americans, had scooped up nearly as much treasure as the other 11.6 million families combined.
A society which had prided itself on being a nation of small producers, skilled workers, farmers, all roughly equal in their social position, was no longer that. It was overwhelmingly a nation of very powerful, concentrated wealth on the one hand and wage labor on the other, suffering a very serious dilemma about how they would survive.
It was a fractious time in which a sense of desperation amidst growing wealth was emerging.
Increasingly, workers begin to say, if I, as a member of this society, lack the ability to pay my bills and to feed my family, then I am not a free citizen of a healthy republic. I'm something else, something that the Founding Fathers would not recognize.
There is this fight over what is America's collective self-identity. Who are we? Are we two nations, the poor and the wealthy? Or are we one nation where everybody has a chance to succeed?
Okay, so as you saw, that the Gilded Age was this time of immense growth. Tons of industry developing, the rich were getting richer, the poorer were getting kind of poorer, conditions were bad, and this boom in industry led to these high profits. And people that worked in these industries, and in Washington, these main industries were fishing, railroad, lumber, mining. They had low wages, long hours. All of this, people began to think about their working conditions, and they could get hurt, and if they got hurt, they just lost their jobs. There were no laws really to protect workers. Businesses didn't have to help injured workers at all. I mean, it was just what it was. Many families had their whole families working, kids all the way through. Everybody was working in factories with these low wages so that they could make ends meet. And so workers felt that they were easily replaced, and this caused a lot of division in society, as that video was saying, between the rich and the poor, those that were working in the factories. It also caused problems socially as well. White workers were scared that they were going to be replaced by immigrants, and this caused division in society. And so they began to develop into labor unions, and the idea there was to increase their working conditions. So that's what we'll look into tomorrow. So hopefully you answered the learning target today when watching the Gilded Age, which was what happened in the American economy and society 18th or late 19th centuries. Remember, that was that division in society between the rich and the poor, and this boom of industrialism that was taking place at that time. And in Washington, again, that was in fishing and in railroad, lumber, and mining. So tomorrow we will look at the growth of labor unions. So make sure you get your assignments completed on Google Classroom, and you answer this learning target. Go ahead and write it up in a Google Doc and post it again to Google Classroom. And we'll see you later. Oh, don't forget, if you have any questions, shoot me an email or post it right in the Google Documents, and I will get back to you. Take care.